Good afternoon, everybody. You ready for week 2 of the NFL, which began last night? The Eagles hold on and beat the Minnesota Vikings in a high-scoring affair. Obviously, you look at Jefferson, who lost the ball going into the end zone, and that was a 10-point swing. You don't score a touchdown there. Philly gets a 61-yard field goal before the half, and that was a big part of the game. Glad to have you with us right here on If You Don't Like That. Come at me with your questions, and we will talk NFL, college, or whatever else is on your mind. Here is your schedule. Green Bay is at Atlanta. Buffalo host the Raiders. Baltimore down 4 starters, 2 offensive linemen, 2 defensive backs at Cincinnati. Seattle travels to Motown to take on the Lions. The Chargers and Titans hook up at Nashville. Chicago is at Tampa. Jacksonville is home to Kansas City. Travis Kelce will play in that game, as will Chris Jones. Indianapolis is at Houston. The Rams and Niners play in SoFi. Giants are at Arizona. The Cowboys and the Jets hook up in Big D. Washington at Denver. Miami is at New England. And a pair of Monday night games, New Orleans is at Carolina and Cleveland is at Pittsburgh. I got a question. What the heck is going on with all the hamstring injuries in the NFL? I mean, every single day I'm seeing guys hurt their hamstrings in practice, in the games, not playing, questionable, hamstring, doubtful, questionable. How does that happen? You know? Incredible. Cody wants to know, how does Las Vegas predict these betting lines so accurately? That's a good question, Cody. That's a good question. I don't know. They seem to be right on the money, no pun intended, right? I'm with you. I don't know. I really don't. All right. What about your picks this week? Have you got them in after last night? Was the line on the Pick'em League that we're doing last night 6 or 6.5? I can't even remember. I didn't even go back and look. Were the Eagles 6 or 6.5 point favorites on the Yahoo Sports Pick'em League? All right. Because the Vikings with that last touchdown made it a 6-point game. And I can't remember if that line on Yahoo Sports Pick'em was 6 or 6.5. But Vegas is, they're unbelievable. They're right on it. They missed the Giants game a little bit with the Cowboys. That's for sure. 6.5, huh? All right. So I'm a winner. I got my 6.5. I took Minnesota. So I'm off to a good start this week. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Cody. Happy to hear that. I'm 1-0 going into the weekend. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. I don't think it's scripted. The games are not scripted, but Vegas does have a way of nailing these lines, don't they? It's unbelievable. It really is. All right, what questions do you have for me coming up this weekend in football, whether it's college or the NFL? Did you see what's going on with the Alabama Crimson Tide? Did you see that story? Right? Alabama, who got beat badly by Texas, is expected to start Tyler Buckner, who was at Notre Dame last year, which means that Jalen Milroe, who has started the first 2 games, would be watching from the sideline. All right? That was reported by ESPN's Chris Lowe, that Tyler Buckner is expected to get the start. How about that? He took the majority of first-team reps in practice this week. Guess Nick Saban's had enough of that. All right? My thoughts on Coach Prime's demeanor. That's Deion Sanders' personality. You don't think he's just going to change because he's, the coach of Colorado, do you? That's his personality. That's who he is. It's a little bit too much bravado for me personally, but that's the way he was as a player, and that's the way he is a coach. You have to be yourself. He's being himself, and so far he's doing a hell of a job through 2 games. So, whatever, All right, the not so obvious and upset of the week. Well, let me go back over that schedule again. Upset of the week. If I got to pick an upset, all right, let me get back to the NFL schedule here and let me look it up. All right, NFL upset of the week. All right, I'm going to say, oh, man. Well, first of all, I got to see what the lines are, but I would say Arizona over the Giants. Upset of the week. Arizona at home getting points. I think they're getting 4.5. New England at home against Miami. Everyone's talking Miami this, Miami that, Miami this, Miami that. Don't ever count out the New England Patriots. All right. I agree with you. Packers and Falcons will be interesting. Jordan Love was great last week. I would agree with you. Ryan has the Seahawks going in and beating the Lions. I would not discount that. I could see that happening, you know. Bears over Tampa, an upset. Is that really an upset? I mean, forget about the betting line for a minute. Just look at the teams. Do you really think that's an upset, Cody? I mean, I understand that they are dogs. I get that. But, you know. Well, Rhino was on the stream yesterday. He's not an everyday employee. Huh? That's why. I had lunch with Ryan today. We went to a fabulous restaurant. Where do you think we went to eat today? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where do you think we ate? That's right. Bennett's Westside Grill. Ryan and I were out there for lunch. Loved it. And I really fooled Ryan today because I didn't get the redfish. I got the Cobb salad with the sirloin steak. Outstanding. Ryan had a Caesar salad with the redfish. It's all there for you at Bennett's Westside Grill. Their weekend prime rib, the weekend brunch. They got all kinds of specials. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com and you can see for yourself. Bennett's Westside Grill, their newest restaurant at the Blue Oaks Town Center in Rockland. And it was great to catch up with Rhino, and we had a really good lunch. All right. Really good. All right. So here we go. I'm a diehard Raider fan, but Buffalo will put up 30 points plus. Mark says, ouch. Lance says, redfish at Bennett's. It is outstanding. Yes. Comes with a side of sauteed spinach. It's great. It's outstanding. Bennett's. Come on. Bennett's Restaurants. Sacramento. Fair Oaks and Howe. Roseville. Eureka and Lead Hill. Rockland. Blue Oaks Town Center. Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Come on, let's get with the program. For crying out loud. Of course they have redfish out there. They got all kinds of fish. Prime seafood and steak. It's awesome. Check it out. Am I in Sacramento for my lawsuit? Yes, I am. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it. All right, what else do you want to throw my way? All right, I'm right here. We're not going anywhere. We got football going on. Pretty soon we're going to have the NBA with training camp starting. The Kings open up camp on the 27th. Looking forward to that. Great burgers, too. They do have great burgers. They do. Good job right there. Yes, they do. They also have a mushroom patty burger, which is incredible. You know, you do need a Bennett's on Long Island, but I got to tell you, I don't think Brian Bennett's going to open up a Bennett's on Long Island. I think their commute would be a little bit too much. All right, you would love it. It's great, but I don't see Brian going coast to coast and opening up a Bennett's on Long Island. Going to make that prediction. All right. But 3 locations in the greater Sacramento area. All right. Keep on coming with your questions. We got week 2 of the NFL underway last night. You can't fault Kirk Cousins for last night, right? You cannot fault Kirk Cousins for last night. I thought the guy was outstanding. Thought he played very well. And they didn't lose the game because of him. Got a bad fumble. You had Jefferson. Again, you can't turn the ball over like that, crossing the goal line. That really hurt Minnesota, hurt them big time, you know? Absolutely. Mark says the over-under on the Cowboys sacking Zach Wilson 6 times. Over or under at 6? I'll say under. 6 sacks is a lot in a game. I'll say under. All right? I'll go under. Can we talk Raiders? Well, you have a question for me? You know, I don't know if you look around. You see anybody here? You see anybody around? No, it's just me. So if you want to talk Raiders, ask me a question. That's how this show goes. You get on the chat line. You want to talk Raiders? Ask me a specific question, and we will talk Raiders. Come on, man. You know, you're the one that's got to wake up. You don't know about Bennett's. You want to talk? Ask me a question. Come on. Let's get with the program here, for crying out loud. All right, thoughts on Jimmy G? I thought he played a very good week 1 game. Obviously, you know, throwing into a crowd in the red zone, you know, from the 5-yard line, you can't turn the ball over like that. But, typical Jimmy G game, made the big plays when he had to, very poised. The team ran very well under him. It seemed like he had been there for a couple of years. I was very impressed. I thought he played very well. Cody says Raiders have to control the clock and a big game from Jacobs. Yes, they do need a big game from Jacobs. Absolutely. I would agree with you. Absolutely. Mark's got the Bills winning 35-20. The question is, how many turnovers will Josh Allen have? He's been horrible. 4 turnovers the other night. Let's see if he can play error-free football Sunday at home against the Raiders. So keep the questions coming. Again, Mark's got the Bills winning 35-20. I got the Bills winning 2. I'm not so sure I got them scoring 35 with the way Allen's playing. I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that. Let me see what the weather is up in Buffalo this weekend. Let's see here. All right. Buffalo, New York weather forecast Sunday. All right. So, weather forecast on Sunday. Buffalo, New York. Perfect. Cloudy. High of 72. Not going to be an issue. There you have it. The reason why I'm looking is because there's these storms and the hurricane going, which is bringing and has brought a lot of rainfall to the Northeast. So that's why I was checking that out. All right. What game are you watching? You thought what? You thought Garoppolo's performance was lethargic on Sunday against Denver? Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game? You don't know about Bennett's. You want to talk about the Raiders, and you send me that question, and you talk about lethargic? What game were you watching? Lethargic my ass. Come on. Here's one 20-17. Bills with a last-second field goal. That would make for a heck of a game. That really would. All right. Here we go. Lance wants to know, can I still watch a football game, call a basketball game, order a pizza, etc., all at the same time? You're the best, Grant. We need you back. Well, thank you very much. First of all, I can't because I'm on my phone and I'm watching a football game and I'm announcing a basketball game. I would have to have a third phone to be able to order a pizza while I'm doing all of that. And on top of that, if I ordered a pizza and the pizza comes, I don't have enough room to put it in front of me. And the one thing I can't do, I can't eat and announce the game at the same time. So that's not going to work. I can watch the football and I can announce the game, but I can't be eating food while I'm announcing the game, and I certainly can't be ordering it. But that's a good question. There you have it. Good question. I would try, though. I would try. All right, Grant, how was your YouTube NFL Sunday ticket experience? It was fine. No difference. How about you? All right. What do you think? All right. Mark wants to know about the Packers and their injury report. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read the latest injury report. This is as today. All right. After practice today. Here are the Green Bay Packers. These are their injuries. And there is a concern, as you said, when you look at Jordan Love and what he's got going on. All right. So Christian Watson, questionable. He did practice today. He was limited. Again, questionable. Running back, Aaron Jones, questionable. Hamstring, missed another practice today. So little bit iffy. And linebacker, Quay Walker, concussion, and he's questionable for the game as well. So there's your latest report. All right. There's your latest report. Yeah, I got Aaron Jones on there. Absolutely. All right. Here we go. Mac Jones, a former Bama quarterback, is playing another ex-Bama quarterback for the second week in a row. That's right. That's exactly right. Packers, Falcons, the local game in South Florida. Your Dolphins fans are going to get upset about that. You're going to get them upset. All right. You're going to get them upset. I'm a resident of Miami-Dade County. You're going to get them upset. You're going to get those, 5,000 fans upset. You don't want to get those 5,000 fans upset at you. All right. You don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. All right. Well, I'll tell you this, to get Chase Young, who's going to be on the field, that's a big help for that defense. He did not play in week 1. They get him back. And obviously, he does a lot for that defense. I think it's going to be a very close game. I've said this before this season began. I am not sold at all on Denver. I don't think they're very good. I don't think they're very good. I really don't. Am I picking Washington to go in there and win that game? No. Actually, you know what? I think I did pick them to win the game. I think I did. All right. Injuries. Let's see here. Well, they don't have any new injuries that are. Again, we know about Martin, the safety. We knew he had a concussion, was going to be ruled out for this game. But I'm not sold on Denver at all. I don't think they're that good. I really don't. My NFL game of the week. There are a couple of them. And I really think the Seattle-Detroit game is going to be a heck of a game. I really do. I think that is going to be a very interesting game. And that is one of my games of the week. I think that's going to be a really good game. I thought the Jets-Cowboys had all of that going on, but then, without Aaron Rodgers, I would say no. Baltimore-Cincinnati. Big game in that division after Cincinnati lost at Cleveland. Baltimore out 4 starters. So that's going to affect that game. Those are interesting. And I think Cleveland at Pittsburgh on Monday night. Pittsburgh was horrible against the 49ers. And now they're 0-1 playing on a Cleveland team that just absolutely knocked Cincinnati all over the place. All right. Chiefs-Jaguars will be a good game. Good job right there, Cody. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. So, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Again, hit me up with the questions. Patrick says the Jets and the Giants are scheduled at the same time. Very interesting. They normally aren't, but you're right. They are. They are. That's right. We got this one, my games of the week. Seahawks, Lions, Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs, Jags, and 49ers, Rams. Can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. Pretty good. Absolutely. All right. They say I got to do live commentary on the game this Sunday, sort of like the Manning cast. It would be a fun time. Not doing that. As I told you, I'm going to be unable to watch the late games on Sunday. I'm going to a memorial service for Vince Minnie, who tragically passed a little more than a week ago. So I will be paying my respects to the family of Vince and the friends and everyone else who he touched here in Folsom and El Dorado Hills. That is for sure. The Grant cast. Nah, you don't want to hear me do that. All right. Get a life. Go watch the game. All right. I appreciate the love and I appreciate the idea, but no, not going to happen. Plus, here's the other aspect of that. I watch too many games. Like, I don't just sit there and watch one game. So I can't do it. Cody says, Grant, I watched the Dolphins-Chargers game. The Chargers crowd is very quiet compared to other stadiums. Kevin Harlan, awesome job on that game. Well, Cody, first of all, there are a lot of Dolphins fans, even though Miami Dolphin fans don't travel that well. You could hear the Dolphins fans. Chargers probably have the worst. I think the Chargers and the Rams have the worst home field advantage in the NFL. They don't have any fans. None. It's a joke. What happens when the Raiders play the Chargers? All Raiders fans. What happens Sunday when the 49ers are at SoFi? You're going to feel like it's a home game for the 49ers. Just the way it is, And I'm with you. I think the crowd was about 75% Dolphin fans. Anybody have the DirectTV NFL Red Zone? How was that? All right. Have I heard what's next for Aaron Rodgers? What's the rehab process? He's about to be 40. He talked about it today on the Pat McAfee show and said, don't doubt me. He's coming back. So also applies to Dolphins home games as well. 100% correct. Yes, it does. Because there are very few people that live in South Florida that are from South Florida. They're all transplants. So it's very difficult for the Heat and the Dolphins. Very, very difficult. You know, there are very few people that I've met living in Miami-Dade County that are from there. Very few people. Most people are not from there. So that's a very good point. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. All right. Hey, don't forget about any plumbing needs, concerns, New Works Plumbing. They will be there for you. Just go to sackserviceplumbing.com or call the number on your screen. New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. Keep the questions coming. Love the format right here on If You Don't Like That. Also, the Florida Panthers. I will say this about the Florida Panthers. That's got to be the worst hockey crowd that I've ever been to. It is like a library in there. Even the playoffs, horrible. You know, horrible. So I'm with you on that. Not good. You know, absolutely. Andrew Siciliano was great on the red zone. I would agree with you. You know, no question. Absolutely. No question about that. So things change, right? Things do change. Any chance we can get your podcast in Lake Tahoe for the celebrity golf tournament next year? Probably not. Probably not. I appreciate the idea though, but I don't think so. You know, and I did that for about 20 years and always had a great time. I mean, could I get a credential and could I go up there and get some interviews? Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't. We'll see. Never say never. A lot depends on where I'm at and everything else. But I enjoyed that, Lance. That was always a lot of fun. That was always a great time up there at Lake Tahoe for the celebrity golf tournament. Some of my favorite interviews that I've ever done were on the driving range at Lake Tahoe. And, you know, I don't want to brag, but I think no one had interviews like I had with the number of guests. Nobody. And I used to get just interview after interview after interview after interview. And it was my favorite time of the year. I used to love going up there and being able to talk to all of the celebrities. It was great. And I talked to people that I never thought in a million years that I would ever talk to, and never even thought I'd be talking to them driving up there in my car. You know, just I talking to people that weren't even in the sports field that I had on. You know, I remember talking to Vice President Dan Quayle. It was a great interview. I remember talking with Jesse Ventura, you know, when he was the governor of Minnesota. It was an unbelievable interview, like unbelievable. I mean, one of the best interviews I ever had. You know, I can go on and on. So there you have it. Mark wants to know who I'm taking in the Tennessee Chargers game. Eckler, by the way, is out, but I'm taking the Chargers. They're going to win the game. They got to win this game. All right. Cody, I'm nervous too. I think their defense did play well, and the Giants right now look lost to me. So I think that is going to be a very interesting game. And here's the other deal, Cody. If the Giants lose that game, they're done. They play at San Francisco on Thursday. They're not going to go in. They're not beating San Francisco. I can tell you that right now. So that's 0-3, done. Season over. That's pretty much a must-win game. And then they come home and play Seattle in week 4 on a Monday night. So, yeah, I'm with you 100%, you know. The Cardinals, I thought, played pretty well against Washington. You said the Cardinals look very, very frisky. That's a good way of saying it, you know. Short week against San Francisco is not good. Let me tell you something. A month off to prepare is not good to play the Niners. They're a darn good team. And if the way the Giants' offensive line looks right now, Nick Bosa may get 5 sacks in the first half, you know. Garrison wants to know if I'm in the Sacramento area. Yes, I am. I had lunch today out at Bennett's Westside Grill with Rhino. And so I am back in Sacramento, and I am glad to be here. All right. Mark wants to know he believes that Tannehill is on the hot seat with Vrabel. Probably. Yep. I can't really dispute that. We'll see what Tennessee does this week at home against the Chargers. So that's a big spot. You know, the Chargers, to me, they started off 0-2 in that division, and I know Kansas City lost, but I'm expecting the Chargers to go into Tennessee and win that game. I really am. I think they win that game. All right, keep the questions coming right here, and I hope you're on your way to a fabulous weekend. Yes, that's what I said. Week 4, Monday Night Football against Seattle. That's right. I would agree with you. I think the Saints will beat the Panthers by 10 or more on Monday, Cody. The Panthers got both their offensive guards out. They got a lot of issues already. Plus, they're not very good. So I'm with you. That the Saints should roll in that game. They should. That's a good job right there, Cody. I'm with you on that. I can't even remember all the picks that I made, but I'm glad that I got that extra half point last night when I picked the Vikings to cover against the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, Umber, are you trying to ruin my weekend or what? I know they got week 5 at Miami. I got you. All right. You're trying to ruin my weekend. Yes. After Arizona, San Francisco on the road, Seattle at home, at Miami. I understand that. I get you. And they still have to play Philly twice. They got to play Dallas again. So they got to play Buffalo. They got to go against the defense of the Jets. All right? I'm with you. Let's see. I feel bad for Henry with the 8-man front. Almost every play, Titans need a passing game. It is what it is. No, I don't like the doubleheader Monday night games. I don't like it at all. I do not. Broncos travel to Miami week 3. Victory, Fangio revenge game. You know what, Cody? Worry about week 2 first. Worry about week 2. Worry about not losing to Washington, because and I know, if your Broncos lose to Washington on Sunday, all hell's going to break loose in the Mile High City. You know that, and I know that. All right? And all the heat's going to be on Russell Wilson, and people are going to start doubting Sean Payton and everything else. All right? You start off 0-2 against the Raiders and the Commanders. Oh, boy. Patrick said he had the Eagles -6.5. I had the Vikings +6.5. Good job, Kirk Cousins. Get in that end zone. Cody says, yeah, it can't happen. If it happens, it's going to be a long, long year in Denver. I don't think they're good enough to bounce back from that. All right. This is a great question. Great question. In my opinion, did Sean Payton pick the wrong team? Yes, he did. It made no sense to me that he picked the Denver Broncos. I thought he could have waited and had many more opportunities. I think he could have been the head coach of the Cowboys next year or some other teams. So I did not understand that. Did not look to me like you're going to go in there and be able to win with Russell Wilson. I'm sorry. I don't think you can do it. In that division, why would I take a division that has Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert in there? I would not have done that. Sean Payton could have waited, and he could have had a lot of opportunities to coach other teams. I am a little surprised. I really am. I am a little surprised that he ended up going to Denver. I think there were better opportunities for him where he could have waited, and I think he could have been in a better situation. Plus, the AFC, boy, it's loaded right now. I mean, it really is. So that is somewhat surprising. That's a very good question. Excellent. Mark wants to know if I think the players like Thursday Night Football. No, they hate it. None of them like it. All right. And you're right. He could have been Sean Payton could have been the head coach for the Cowboys, Chargers, Cardinals, and other ones I can't think of. I don't know if I would have taken the Cardinals job, but if the Chargers job opens, I think that would have been very attractive. Again, I know it's still AFC West, but you got a franchise quarterback you can work with. Russell Wilson used to be a franchise quarterback. He's not anymore, in my opinion. It's just not, So what do you got going on this weekend? What about college football tomorrow? There's not a lot of good games tomorrow. Blase, let's see. David wants to know, will Zach Wilson have positive fantasy points this week? I don't even know how fantasy football works, so you're asking the wrong guy. What are you thinking? I don't even know what the hell that means. Don't ask me fantasy questions like that. I don't know. I don't even know how it works. You can ask me if I would take this player A or player B, but in terms of like points and stuff, I have no idea. I honestly don't even know how it works. I have no idea. I really don't. Colorado versus Colorado State. Here's the problem. The media is making a big deal out of all of this based on what the head coach for Colorado State said. So the media is blowing it up. It's all Deion Sanders this, Deion Sanders that, and, you take a mountain out of a molehill. That's what that's all about. I have no interest in that game at all. None. None. Here's how it works, David says. Dallas is going to destroy the Jets. The Jets may not score more than the Jets defense is going to have to score to win this game. I don't see it. I don't see the Jets scoring more than one offensive touchdown. The Dallas defense is really good. Their pass rush is really good. I think the Jets I'll tell you, I could see Zach Wilson getting hurt in the first quarter of this game. I really mean that. I don't want to see him get hurt. I don't like to see anybody get hurt. I don't. But I could see Zach Wilson not making it to halftime in this game. Mark thinks that the Atlanta-Green Bay game is going to be really good. Could very well be. Could very well be. Love the questions here on a Friday. We get you ready for the rest of week 2. And then, of course, the doubleheader on Monday. I'm probably going to do the early show on Monday. I'm thinking about my schedule on Monday. I'll probably do a 3 o'clock show. And, we'll probably do Listen App on Monday so we can talk about everything that happened on Saturday and Sunday. So we'll do that. Yes, I can't wait for the Kings season to start too. Thank you for your respect. It's right back at you. Ryan and I met today. We're going to have a lot of stuff coming your way during the Sacramento Kings season. So really very 2 weeks, training camp, 2 weeks, right? So training camp opens on the 27th. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to do a special show on the eve of training camp on Twitter Spaces. I've never done that before. So on the 26th at 7 p.m., I'm going to do a show on Twitter Spaces. So I'll give you plenty of reminder about that. But I'm going to try Twitter Spaces out and see how that goes. And we'll do a training camp preview and a season type of a preview on the 26th on the eve of training camp. Someone says Raiders going back 2-0 to Vegas. Well, possible. I wouldn't count on it, but Buffalo looked very vulnerable on Monday night. So, I could see that. I could see that. Cody thinks, what do I think of the Texans and the Colts? I like the Colts. Texans already have Stroud, may not play in that game, which I think helps them, by the way. I think that makes them better. But I think the Colts will win that game. I really do. I really do. Let's see what else we have here. Riley's got the Jags and the Chiefs. He thinks the Jags get the outright win. You think so? You like Jacksonville getting the outright win? The only problem you got, Riley, you got it backwards. Chiefs, Riley, at Jags. Not Jags at Chiefs. Chiefs at Jags. Other than that, good job right there. All right. David says Josh Allen would need to turn it over 4 times again. Maybe. Riley says, my bad. Riley, it's not a problem. That's why I am here. Don't worry about it, buddy. I'm happy that you're watching the stream. Thank you very much. David's on the Jags money line this week. On it. Good for you. David's got the Packers winning by 10. Mark's got the Jags over the Chiefs, 38-37. That would be a dandy. Absolutely. That would be a dandy. Doug Peterson versus Andy Reid. Total shootout of a game. I would agree with you. Good job there. Hey, don't forget, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot of content that's going to be coming your way here in the next couple of weeks and months. So if you have not yet already subscribed, please subscribe. Appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up, the like button. We appreciate that very much. A little bit too early to talk about MVP after one game. All right. I mean, you're right. He can have an MVP season if healthy. And I understand you're not saying right now he's an MVP, but I understand your point. And I would agree with you. I would agree with you. If he stays healthy with the weapons that he has, I think he could be in that conversation. I think you're spot on. I think you're spot on. Chiefs 41, Jags 28 is the prediction for that game. All right. Cody likes the Falcons on a close game over Green Bay. Here's one that says Jacobs going to run it down Buffalo throat. Maybe. Jets were very successful in running the ball. Could very well be. Could very well be. I'm interested in watching that game for sure. I will be able to watch that game, but as I said, I will not be able to watch the 1 o'clock games. Riley wants to know, what college football matchup am I looking forward to? None. I don't think there are any good games this weekend. None. I looked at the schedule, Riley. Nothing jumped out at me. Nothing jumped out at me. The great one right here. Could I imagine Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo starting 0-2? Highly unlikely, but could I imagine it? Yeah, I mean, it's possible because they're all 0-1. You can't start off 0-2 unless you're 0-1, and that's where they're at. It's a very interesting message. I haven't given it that much thought. Cody says Colorado State and Colorado. What makes that an interesting game, Cody? Help me out with that. Why is that interesting? They're not ranked. Colorado State's not ranked. Why? Because the Colorado State called out Dion and the coach for Colorado? Who cares? Like, what makes that an appealing game? Colorado State's not any good. So what makes that an intriguing game? Why? Because of Deion Sanders, right? I'm going to look it up right here. Help me out with that, Cody. What makes that an intriguing game? Am I missing something here? Maybe I am missing something. I don't see it. I don't see it. I was trying to look at some ranked teams that are playing against one another that, are like last week when we had an Alabama-Texas game. And I was so impressed with Texas. They're now 4th in the poll. Sac State moving up this week. They're at Stanford. But again, Colorado State is unranked. Colorado's 18th. Why would that game has no appeal to me whatsoever. None. Zero. I have no interest in that game. Well, Alabama lost the number 1 pick in the draft in Bryce Young, and they lost a lot of other players. And, I know everyone thinks, gee, automatically you're just going to be really good all year, but, don't know. Don't know. Here's one for you. 16.6 million people watched the Vikes and the Eagles last night. Most streamed NFL game in history. Okay, but how many games in NFL history have been streamed? It's not a big sample size, but I understand your point. Those are very good numbers, Very good numbers. It's a good job by you, by the way. That's good information. I did not know that. Excellent job. But again, how many games in NFL history have been streamed? Not many. So when you say it's the most streamed NFL game in history, it's a very small sample size. Riley likes the Browns to win over the Steelers. Monday Night Football. Always hard hitting when you get Cleveland and Pittsburgh. I don't know what to expect from Pittsburgh. They were awful. They got manhandled by San Francisco. All right. Do smartphones count as streaming screens? Yes, they do, to the best of my knowledge. Most of the people are watching. I watched the game last night on my phone. I watched it right here. I didn't watch it on TV. I watched it on my phone, Let's see. David wants to know, Colorado State, how can you play your in-state rival third game of the year? Listen, we're making way too much out of this game, okay? We're making way too much out of that game. No one cares about Colorado State. The only reason why anyone cares about Colorado now is because of Deion Sanders, all right? And they really haven't played anybody yet. So I'm not getting all caught up in the Colorado mania, all right? They beat a 16th ranked or 17th ranked TCU and beat a bad Nebraska team. And now all of a sudden I got to get excited because they're playing Colorado State, because the coach for Colorado State made a comment about sunglasses and, whatever the hell else he was talking about. Who cares? This is a very good one. Al Michaels wasted on Thursday Night Football. I got to tell you, I have all the respect in the world for Al Michaels. He's one of the great sportscasters of his generation. He doesn't look like he's into it at all, right? Al seems like he's going through the motions. Like there are many other places he'd rather be than Thursday Night Football. I think the telecast is really subpar. Really subpar. No energy, no excitement. I mean, I'm down on Al for that Thursday Night Football package. I don't think it's very good. All right. You know, what team would be in the biggest trouble going 0-2? Well, there are a couple teams. Seattle would be in a lot of trouble going 0-2 in that division. The Giants would be pretty much done. There are a lot of teams that would be in trouble going 0-2. No question about that, you know. But that Thursday Night Football broadcast team, Al needs to wake up. You know, Cody, I agree with you. I think he has checked out. You know, I agree with you. I agree with you. Upset of the week, Rams beat the 49ers. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I think the Rams are going to have trouble scoring. You know, I don't see it. You know, you're right. It was not very good. It was not very good. All right. I hope you all have a great weekend. I appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll be back Monday, 3:00 on Listen Up. So long, everybody. Take care. What's up, buddy?